So I found out something horrific that you guys may or may not know. It is a personal trial to me, and it is this, that the high five was invented in the 1970s.
What?
What? That's not proven. Bullshit. Nobody knows when the high five was invented.
Well, here's what I'll say about it.
Okay.
I said this to my parents because I was like, this is not a truth.
Yeah.
And my parents were like, oh yeah, the high five. You mean that thing that was invented in the 1970s? And I was like, I'm going to murder both of you. This can't be true.
No, that's fake. I think it's beyond time and space. We've always been high-fiving.
I'm going to ask my mom to corroborate that because I feel like it's possible that your parents just grew up in like an anti-high five culture.
Yeah.
Maybe they just didn't know.
I also love that, like, maybe you high-fived your parents and they said, oh, yes, the high five. I'm familiar from the 1970s.
Can we go back to the part where Caitlin told me that my parents grew up in an anti-high five culture?
I just think it's possible.
Oh, no. I think it's possible that I'm about to grow up into an anti-Caitlin culture.
I think it's possible that we should play some D&D. Hi, I'm Kat. I'm your DM.
Hi, I'm Sophia. I play like a 1970s high five.
Hi, I'm Noelle. I play Fran. I'm a Genasi wizard, and I'm a level 6.
Hi, I'm Caitlin, and I play Corbin, and I'd like to give a shout out to Noelle for saying what level she is, because I forgot. I'm level 6.
Hey, this is Noelle. I'd like to give a shout out to Caitlin for giving me a shout out.
Hey, this
Shout
is
out
Sophia.
to Noelle.
Again. I just want to jump in all these shout outs, give a shout out to you guys for being here. Thanks for coming.
I want to give a shout out to getting this game started.
All right.
So, last time you chased Phelan the Betrayer, child of Torva, out of the Tower of Wavell after he burned the tower's Estra section to a crisp. You then started on your way to the Temple of Iol, which is on your way to Torva's Jaw. And on the path up there, you met Salm and Paolo, who are escorting Salm's brother's body to the temple for burial. On the way up the mountain, you came to a waterfall that had destroyed the bridge. Corbin cast a spell on the whole group so you could walk on the water. However, then it was rougher than expected, and the men, their donkey, Laika, and Gingy all fell into the water, which pours over a sheer drop down the mountain. And that is where you are now. What are you going to do?
Okay.
The water is moving rapidly. You have approximately 3 rounds before you are swept down the second waterfall.
Okay, so I'm not going to go all the way across then right away.
Okay.
Who's nearest to me?
Gingy.
Other than Gingy. So can I get Salm then?
Sure. Yeah, he's not, like...
Because he would be in front of me as I'm going towards him, right?
Yeah.
Okay, can I reach out and touch him?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am going to use, as I run towards him and touch him in the water, I'm going to use gaseous form, and I'm going to turn him into a human fart. He's probably scared, but...
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he is freaked out.
Anyway, so I basically turn him into a cloud, a misty creature, and he can, like, fly wherever he wants. But I just tell him to go to the other side of the shore. And then I think I can end it whenever I want.
It takes him a minute to figure out exactly how to use his ghost body. But he is able to, yes. He is able to get across to the other ledge.
I'm actually going to follow him over there then too. And I say, everything's fine. And I'm like turning all around because I'm not sure if I'm speaking to him or not. Remain a cloud because we can maybe use you to be a spy. You're fine.
Can you smell him?
You do. You smell a very weird, meaty smell. The smell of a human in cloud form, which is weird and meaty.
I hate this beyond reason or words or explanation of any kind.
And that leaves in the water there is Gingy the donkey, Paolo, and Laika.
I'm gonna Misty Step out of the water, so I'm back on top of the water, and I'm gonna pull Gingy up out of the water.
Okay, make a strength check.
13.
Okay, that'll do it. You are able to pull Gingy up out of the water, and she's able to get her footing back again.
Who's still in the water?
Still in the water, then, is the donkey and Paolo.
I'm gonna use Misty Step again over to Paolo and pull him up. Unless, is he close enough that I can walk?
Make a dexterity save. See if you can.
Fuck, I'm gonna do bad.
Wait, no, stop. I want to use a cantrip.
All right, I'll let you go
On
then.
you. So
Oh,
you
really?
Can do that.
Oh,
that
okay.
Check. So
Sure.
you can get him out. It's called guidance. Basically, you got to add 1d4 dice to a check of your choice. You can do it before or after the check.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's actually good. 13 plus 4.
That'll do it. So you are able to run across the surface of the water, just barely skipping over the choppy current, and grab Paolo's arm before he is washed over the edge. And that just leaves the donkey.
I'm gonna let somebody else save the donkey.
How close am I to the donkey?
You're pretty far from the donkey at this point.
I think I can't turn the donkey into a fight.
I do have a spell I might be able to use. It might hurt the donkey a little bit. Can I use a spell that's an attack spell to non-fatally?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can always do non-lethal.
Okay, I want to do that non-lethal. The spell is a cantrip called Thorn Whip. It's basically an attack that I like make a thorn whip, and if it hits the creature, then it pulls the creature 10 feet closer to me.
All right, I guess roll a hit.
19.
Okay. That hits. You are able to wrap your thorny whip around the donkey, and now you'll need to make a strength save to pull it in.
Oh, a strength save? Okay.
Yes.
18.
Great. Okay, you are able to pull in the donkey from the other shore and get it up onto the shore. It is very scared and bleeding now as well. How much damage do you do? Max damage? God, this poor donkey.
Not lethal, though.
Actually, I'm level 5, so I do have to roll twice. I'm level 6. Okay, that's 9 points of damage.
Okay. So, as soon as everybody gets up onto the other shore, first thing, Paolo is looking around. Sal?
He's fine. He's fine.
Where is he?
He's a cloud.
What?
He's a fart cloud.
Do you smell that?
Yes. What is that? Psalm, where are you? Psalm!
Hold on. I don't know if he can talk.
I don't think he can. No, he's a
I
cloud.
don't think so.
Can you turn him back?
I
Yeah.
don't want to turn him back because we might be able to use this.
He's
I
freaking
don't want.
out.
You should turn him back.
No. It's fine. It's fine. I can't turn him back, and
Friend, this is not a hostage situation.
it wears off after a couple hours, and he'll be back to normal, good as new.
What did you do to him?
I'm a god.
You're a god? What god are you?
farts.
We're not gods.
Yeah, we are.
No, we're not. We're
Totally
just
are.
people, and we did what we had to do to get across the river. Trust me when I say your husband is fine. And I'm gonna roll to soothe him.
Okay, yeah, roll persuasion.
I put a comforting hand on his shoulder.
They let gods do anything, Sophie. You mess up my plan.
I don't want to tell. I hate gods. I'm not letting. If you guys say we're gods. I'm
okay.
serious. Like, because they've done so much damage. I'm not gonna say I'm a god.
Yeah, but like
That's the most
if a
paladin
god,
I've ever been.
If
but
a god
yeah.
turned your husband into a fart cloud versus if a regular human turned your husband into a fart cloud, I'd be way less scared if it was a god.
Because the gods have a history here of like literally ruining people's lives.
Yeah, but at
and
least
the
I would
world.
know that like it wasn't just some rando guy with insane powers.
All right, well, I got really good. I got 22.
Okay, yeah, he calms down a little bit, but he's shivering. I mean, he's cold as hell. He just fell into a freezing river.
Oh, I'll shape water off of him.
What? Who are you people?
Normal.
We're guardians.
Yeah, okay, fine.
And meanwhile, the goddess she's been healing the donkey, and the donkey is now fine. And she comes over to Paolo and puts a hand on his face, and then signs to him, "Be calm." We have been blessed by Talia, and we are her champions.
That's true, I guess.
Yeah, which
Yeah,
it is actually technically true because she derives her power from the beast gods who are gods under Talia.
And we derive our power from her.
Yeah,
Or
and you derive her power
Kai,
from
maybe.
her blessing, so or Kai's blessing, but you know. So he nods quickly and then slows down and says, Okay. Psalm? Honey, it's gonna be okay.
Psalm,
Wherever you are.
if you're there, smell really bad in front of your husband so he knows you're okay. Make yourself really concentrated right by his nose.
He can do that.
Yeah, after like a minute, it smells real bad. And Paolo puts a hand up over his mouth. He goes, Oh, God. Yeah, that smells like one of Psalm's farts.
Typical marriage.
Oh, God.
Okay, so you continue on your way, and I am going to have you all make some perception checks.
I got like 9.
I got 19.
15.
Okay, Corbin, you spot them. Above you circling, there are some large, dark birds.
Oh.
But they're very far above you, and they just seem to be circling and surveying you as you head up the mountain path.
Well, I'm worried about other birds now. Corbin gets nervous.
Oh, yeah, because you got attacked.
Yeah.
So the rest of your trek up the pilgrim's path it's hard. It's very hard. The road gets super muddy and slippery further ahead. Gingy has some trouble keeping her balance with the body tied to her back and everything, but it is easier for her to do this than the donkey, which is having a lot of trouble just getting up on its own. They're good at rough paths, but Paolo is leading it pretty heavily through these rocks. And he makes an off comment, to the side. He says, well, and it's a good thing we had to leave the cart behind. And he looks to his side where he hopes that his husband is.
Fran is concentrating really hard to make sure this guy stays apart.
What?
Fran!
Why, Fran? He's gonna be useful. Maybe. I don't want to waste spell slots.
Oh,
I
God.
think we don't need him, though, to be apart.
It's fine.
So it's a few more hours, and it's getting toward twilight by the time you are able to get to the top of the mountain.
Oh, that guy turned back.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know it was going to take that long.
Yeah.
I thought we were like close.
Okay, at what point did he turn back?
After an hour.
Okay, so after about an hour, when Saul reappears, Paolo is very relieved, and he's just hugging his husband and kissing him and holding his hand, and he will not let go of his hand.
That's very sweet, and it's too bad that didn't come in handy.
God.
Leica just shakes her head at Fran.
Yeah, Corbin looks unimpressed.
The further you've gotten up this path, the colder it has gotten. And when you are getting up toward the peak, there is snow covering the rocks and the path. And just as twilight is starting to set in, and you can see the sun setting in the west from the top of the mountain, and by the way, the sunset up here, spectacular. You are approaching the Temple of Iol at the peak of Farah's mountain. The top of the mountain has been carved into a statue of the hooded god for whom the mountain is named. Farah, the guide, watches over pilgrims as they come up the path. She holds a stone door with a silver knocker contained within a lantern held up to her chest. Despite the weather the statue must endure, the carving is really well maintained. Beneath the stone hood, there's the face of a woman looking out over the world below. Beneath the statue, there is a frozen courtyard dotted with these short, dark trees that have thick leaves iced in snow. And in these trees, there are these big macaques with thick, soft black fur covering all of their bodies except for their gentle golden faces.
What is a macaque?
Oh, macaques. They are a type of snow monkey.
I'm gonna animal handle that monkey.
Okay.
I got a 13.
That's not gonna do it. I'm sorry, man.
I'm sorry, you look so sad.
Is it too late to cast guidance on myself?
Well, here's the thing. I will let you can try again after a long rest.
Okay.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That makes sense, too.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not like a all or nothing thing.
Right, one
but,
or done thing, yeah.
But yeah, when you see these macaques, you try to approach them, But they immediately begin chittering, and if you listen, you can understand them, sort of. Mm-hmm. You can understand them more than the camels, but you cannot understand them nearly as well as the wolves.
What are they chattering about?
Nothing particularly interesting, but as you approach them, they go, bad, 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 Birdman, bad, 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 don't go Birdman, bad.
Fucking rude. I walk away.
That's what I hear in my thoughts all the time.
When looking at Corbin.
One of them throws a berry at you, Corbin, at the back of your head as you pass by.
I whip around like an owl, like a head, like the owl. The head of an owl. And I eat it.
Okay, so do you guys head up? There are stairs heading up to the door. Do you go up those stairs, or are you just going to hang out in the courtyard?
Let's go up.
Okay,
Yeah,
so you guys head up to the doorway, and Paolo grabs the silver knocker and bangs it twice. And the door opens, and you are greeted by a rust-skinned tiefling. He is dressed in a...
Dad!
He is dressed in drapey gray hooded robes, and the robes are open in the back to allow room for his huge leathery wings.
I say, Dad, you're beautiful.
I'm sorry. Do I know you?
Where are my wings?
I don't know. He is very flustered. I'm sorry. Please come in. And he ushers you into the hall. As he shuts the door behind you, you see inside is a great stone hall with a roaring fire in the middle of the room. There are a few other tieflings milling about, walking around in pairs or threes, chatting, and flying around. The inside of this hall is the inside of this mountain. At the back of the platform that you are on, there's a line of pillars which mark the edge. Beyond and above that, there are more platforms, and tieflings fly between them. A few of the platforms are connected by rope bridges, but higher up, there seem to be no ways to reach them except by flight.
Do any of them look like they could be related to me?
No, actually, they all look significantly different than you. Whereas your skin is quite red,
Yeah.
their skins range more from a rust to a burnt umber.
Her skin is like red-gray.
Red-gray, but theirs are more in sort of the orangey brown
Okay.
range. Besides also the fact that they all have huge wings, they are also quite a bit smaller than you. The tallest one you see is a full head shorter than you are.
I say, Leica, these guys are so cool. They're way cooler than you.
Leica agrees, and she just slumps to the floor because she's like, these guys are cool, and it's too much.
I just shake my head in awe, and I pat you on the head, and I'm like, you must be so proud.
Don't worry about it, because they're all short idiots.
Gingy comes and sits next to you, and then she lays down and puts her head in your lap and looks up at you with her big puppy dog eyes, and she says, now that you've found your real family, you're not gonna abandon me, are you?
Leica screams, and then she screams in like a battle cry, and then she gives Gingy a big hug, and she says, "You're my real family."
Aw, Zaroon comes and puts his head on your shoulder as well.
And I say, "I was the dad all along."
Okay, so the tiefling who let you in, he comes up behind you. He says, I hate to interrupt, but welcome to the Temple of Iol. I'm Marcus. I'm one of Farah's humble servants. Please, come, warm yourselves by the fire. There's a large fire in the center of this main room, and there's a couple tieflings who are sitting around it. And Marcus immediately calls over another couple of tieflings who take the body from Gingy. And as you guys are being ushered over toward this big fire, they greet Paolo and Salm, and you see that they give each of them a big hug.
There's one thing I want to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just want to try speaking Infernal to them to see if my Infernal language is as dated as my Common is.
Oh, sure. Who do you want to speak to?
Marcus?
Sure.
How's it going? But I'd say it like, Lavalaji.
He looks at you and he's a bit surprised and then looks around, and he puts an arm around you so that you're real close. He says, I don't know where you come from, friend, but we do not speak the old tongue here.
Why not?
I'm having trouble of answering that question. Why would we? It's a language of an evil past.
Evil?
Oh, What temple do you hail from, friend?
I look at Fran.
The only thing that's coming to my mind is the International House of Pancakes. Okay, well, Fran points at Corbin.
We're gods.
We're not gods. Why don't we just go sit by the fire? And you can catch us up on just like a 1,000 years of world history if you have access to that.
That'd be great.
Marcus looks very confused, but he brings you guys over to the fire, and there's pillows and cushions laid out around it. And this is it's a big circular fire pit with a stone ledge, and then inside that ledge is a big warm fire. So you guys lay out on these cushions, and it's just so nice and warm. And another tiefling comes, and they bring you some bread and some soft cheese to munch on for a little while.
I roll around on the cushions. I'm having a time of my life.
Like it does too.
Corbin pecks at the bread like a duck. Except don't feed bread to ducks, because that's really bad for them.
Okay. Now, please, Marcus says, for your sister, tell me, where do you come from? What has happened to your wings?
We tell them just a brief summary.
We all speak in unison.
Yes.
Like a
Fuck. Shit.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Oh, God. Like a Greek chorus.
Yeah, we give him a summary of recent events minus telling him that Mary is, the goddess.
Okay, cool. So Marcus looks shocked, surprised, not quite sure how to react to this information. So, if I'm understanding you correctly, tieflings on the island, they didn't have wings.
No, I would guess it's because of having relations with other species over 2,000 years.
Or somebody didn't want you to leave the island. Fran is still rolling.
Is she saying that as she's rolling?
Of course.
Okay, so Marcus, he says, well, if you're curious, I know there are some texts in the library of something regarding our distant past. I think there was something mentioned. I apologize, it's been a long time since I went up there, which is, now that I think of it, I have some continuing professional education credits that I really need to take care of.
Fran does not like this guy.
Our past from the hell world? I have no understanding of tiefling history.
On Estra, they called it the hell world.
They also called this the hell world.
Yeah, basically. Well, I mean our history as a race, as a species. Do you have any knowledge of where you come from, dear?
No. Are there other places in this world where tieflings live?
Of course. We are all attendants of Temples of Iol. There are 3 temples, 1 for each continent. I'm sensing from the blank look on your face that this is all new information to you.
I know nothing.
You should visit the library. It's on one of the upper levels. You can get to it by the rope bridges. It's open to pilgrims.
Do they have spells there?
Like I said, I haven't been up there in a while. I'm not really sure.
Chump.
What a chump.
Friend. Leica, please.
Are you suffering from high-quality podcasts? You see, quality podcasts stimulate parts of your brain, leading to an irksome condition called thinking. But suffer no more, my friend. Introducing Discount Storytime's blend of fictional nonsense and rancid gibberish to provide soothing relief. Try Discount Storytime today. Available on most podcast catchers and at discountstorytime.com.
Consult your healthcare provider before listening to Discount Storytime. Not intended to treat unicyclitis, pickleball liver, or jittering expectations.
Now, You can also visit there's dormitories for pilgrims. Those are just, and he points to another rope bridge. Those are off to the left.
Man, it's too bad we aren't pilgrims. Sounds like they get a lot of benefits.
You came up the mountain, that means you're pilgrims. You're a pilgrim if you don't live here, and if you came up the pilgrim's path, I feel like this is all very basic information you should have.
You don't have to be patronizing about it. You guys are right. This guy is a chump.
Well, anyway, if you take the bridge to the right, you can get to the main temple platform. We will be having a ceremony this evening for the couple who you arrived up the mountain with. We will be laying their loved one to rest this evening. You are welcome to attend the ceremony. Dinner will be served in a couple of hours, I believe, and otherwise you are free to explore anywhere that you are able to get to.
That's rude. Let's go. Let's go.
I can get to a lot of places.
Yeah, that's fair.
He doesn't know that you can turn into a bird.
Don't you do it.
I won't do it. Corbin has enough sense to know that when somebody tells him you can't go somewhere, that he can't let them know that he can go there.
Yeah, that makes sense. We'll go there later.
We'll go later.
So, should we go to the library first?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, sure. As you guys are heading up to the library, Gingy and Zaroon are both very nervous about these rope bridges. And Zaroon, he won't cross them. He will not do it. He is too old. Mm-hmm. The joints are already achy from the cold. He will not do it. So the goddess, she offers to stay back with the two of them and just hang out by the fire with them.
Bye. All right, then we go.
Cool. So there's a series of rope bridges up there. And each one lands on a little platform, and then you keep heading up. The library itself is toward the top of the mountain, inside a little naturally formed cave. It's not very big. It's probably like 2 or 3 dozen shelves that are fairly well maintained, and there's a very old tiefling sitting at a table in the center of the room.
Okay.
What would you like to do?
Approach that dude.
He does not hear you approach.
Oh, it's this game again. We got spook him.
Corbin runs around behind him.
Leica hides under the desk.
Does Fran see where the magic section is?
I mean, it's not readily apparent, but a little bit of looking. There's not a lot to look through. So.
All right, Fran just leaves then. She's just going to go. I don't care about this guy.
All right, at the same time, I'm going to pop up in front of the desk.
I'm going to give him an uncomfortable back rub a la Buster.
Leica did not know that.
All right, so Leica, you pop up from behind the desk and are horrified to see that Corbin is giving this old man a very creepy back rub.
I just say,
just a little shoulder squeezes.
I just say, I was the one who was spooked.
Gotcha.
Hello and welcome. This is the middle of the episode. I would love to thank some sweet iTunes reviewers. My boy Dodo Hayes, my boy the Oscar Grouch, my boy Glomdy. Thank you so much for your 5-star ratings. I also want to thank Luke, Thomas, Tired Horse, Laura, Gabrielle, Neon Green Tiger, and Victoria for donating on Patreon. It means the world to us. And we're excited to reveal some of the stuff that's going to come out on Patreon in the coming months. I also want to bring up that some of the items in this episode come to us from James Intricasso's 50 Magical Items, which is available as a Pay What You Want PDF on the DMs Guild website. Also, really quick, during this interlude, I want to give a shout out to our DSPN actual play sisters, the Venture Maidens. They are taking part in the Wizards of the Coast Podcasts of Annihilation event coming up, which is amazing. So I encourage you to both check that out and check out the Venture Maidens podcast if you want to see more. And next up, here's a word from Have Spellbook Will Travel.
Party 13, let's suit up for adventure. They're the only ones that can save the world.
What?
A fantasy world of magic, monsters, and heroes.
Yeah, hello? Where is that voice coming from?
Heroes like Andar Patron, the star of our story.
Yeah, that's me, but what are you talking about?
Oh, sorry. We're in a promo for your podcast. Did nobody tell you?
What?
Your podcast. Have Spellbook Will Travel?
Have Spellbook?
It's a scripted fantasy comedy audio drama based on the creator's experiences playing tabletop games.
To be honest, that sounds pretty boring.
Well, it's hilarious. And heartwarming. And great. Super great.
Whatever you say, buddy.
Have Spellbook Will Travel on the Don't Split the Podcast network. Start the adventure at havespellbook.com or wherever podcasts are available for free.
Last of all, I want to get into our sponsor for this episode.
So, Noelle, do you know what a kobold is?
What is a kobold?
Oh.
It's like a lizard man.
Yeah, it's like a little orange lizard man. Apparently, a bunch of kobolds got together and they formed their own publishing company. Kobold Press is what they call it. It's a pretty aptly named thing, society, company, LLC. And they are a third-party design company for RPG products with a range of books and supplements on monsters, adventures, and settings for both Pathfinder and D&D.
So what has Kobold Press done lately?
Well, Noelle, these industrious little beasts, they're launching a series of quick-to-implement one-shot adventures called Prepared 2. This is a sequel. By the way, this is a sequel to their first one-shot adventure series called Prepared.
That makes sense. Why would you need one-shot adventures?
Well, did your players go off on a tangent from the main quest line again?
That's not relatable.
You're right. You would never do something like that to me, Noelle.
Glad we understand each other.
But if you did, then Prepared and Prepared 2 would have me covered with a dozen 5th edition one-shot adventures. Prepared 2 is currently up for pre-order on the Kobold Press store right now. But can you really put a price on a great adventure? Yes, you can, and they did, so.
Find out what those prices are at koboldpress.com.
Go, do it!
And now for a message to Chantel.
Chantel, the code word is Fry Curious. Go! So the old man straightens up very quickly as his shoulders are grabbed, and then he leans back as he sees Leica jump up, and as such he ends up leaning into Corbin and then tipping his chair backwards.
Oh, nice. Do I get crushed?
Yes.
Oh. That's my reaction noise to being crushed.
Fran, you are elsewhere in the library, and all you hear is that horrible noise.
And I'm not surprised. I just go, ugh, and keep looking.
I'm sorry. We were just trying to play a little prank on you, but clearly I did not anticipate my friend's behavior.
This was your idea. And I tip his chair up as I say that.
Yeah, so he was tossed from his chair as it fell back.
Okay,
and,
I help him up and I put his chair right.
He definitely needs the help up. He's a very old man.
Oh, I feel bad.
Yeah. He has that sort of friar monk hairdo.
Oh, no.
Yeah, with the bald head and the ring of white hair around his horns.
What is with these weird tiefling hairdos in this podcast?
Soon,
As I help him up from the ground, I say, I love your hair.
Thank you. It was very fashionable when I was a young man. I'm sorry I didn't hear you come in. My hearing's not what it used to be. How can I assist you today?
We need a summary of the past 2,000 years, specifically on tiefling history, but a general history as well.
Oh, well, I'll need some tea before we start that. Did you bring me my tea, child?
No, I can go get it for you.
Oh, please Tell Clarissa that bring my tea. She should be here by now.
A mini quest. I got it. I go look for Clarissa.
Okay, it doesn't take you long to find. She is actually landing on the platform outside of the library just as you walk out. She has orangey skin, long braided blonde hair, and these big wings.
How old is she?
She looks maybe like 19, 20-ish.
I think she's really beautiful.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you end up... Master Farlin, he asked you to come get his tea, didn't he?
It's not a big deal. It's very cool to do.
It's not. He won't do anything if he hasn't had his tea, and if I don't bring him his tea right on time, he starts sending people on random fetch quests to come find me.
Leica laughs, but like way too long and too loudly. Like, ha 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 ha.
Is that Leica's natural laugh sound?
Yep.
Love it.
So, Clarissa, she walks past you, and she seems to be taking your weirdness in stride. It seems like perhaps she's used to people acting bewildered by her beauty. And so she walks past and she says, Master Farlin, I brought your tea. Same time as always.
Leica follows her back in.
Oh, thank you, dear. It's not the same time, though. You're late. No, I'm not late, Master Farlin. You just don't know what time it is. So she sets the tray of tea down in front of him, and she takes a blanket off of the back of his chair and puts it on his lap. Now, please, don't get your tea all over the blanket this time. I will put my tea wherever I will please. I'm damn old enough. Fran, how's it going in your area of the library?
Fran's having a great time. She's just like running through the shelves of books, her arms
like,
outstretched.
It's like that scene in Beauty and the Beast where Belle gets to the library, except like
except for there's nobody there. Fran's alone.
It's also a very small library, so back to Farlin. So he sips at his tea. Says, "Oh, where would you like me to start? 2,000 years, you said?"
Start whenever you were born. That's got to be like, what, 3,000 years ago?
I don't like your tone, young lady.
I'm a boy.
Don't misgender, Corbin.
Dresses like a girl, squawks like a girl.
You seem prejudiced.
I'm gonna murder you, and they'll think it was a heart attack.
Clarissa, she puts her hands on Farlin's shoulder and says, I'm really sorry about him. And she leans in close and puts her hand by her mouth. He's very old
and offensive.
Yeah, we've been trying, but he just won't stop. I don't know what you're saying because you have your hands blocking your mouth, but it sounds bad, and I don't appreciate it.
Everyone hates you, old man. You're a jerk.
I'm old. I get to be a jerk.
Untrue.
You said to start when I was born, and I'll start there. I was born.
No. No. Start 2,000 years ago.
Well, very well. I wasn't alive yet, so I don't know it very well. But I've read the tomes and the scripts. Clarissa, is this the right tea?
I could read the tomes and the scripts, and it would take less time than hearing you explain it to us.
Yes, Farlin, it's the right tea. Please, just tell these people what they would like to know.
Hey, could you tell us?
She's just an apprentice. She doesn't know anything.
That's what old people always say.
Yeah, I bet she knows more than you.
So, as you guys are saying this, and after Farlin has insulted her again, and you kind of are getting the sense that this is a daily occurrence, she grabs the back of his chair and pulls it out, and she says, You know, Master Farlin, you're right. I was late today, and it is your bedtime. We better get you back down to your bedroom. I'll be right back. So she leaves with him. Do you guys do anything while she's gone, or do you just, like, hang around, look at books?
I draw dicks all over his desk.
Fran, have you found anything interesting?
Can I find a spell?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, I find the spell Magic Circle, which is a 3rd level spell.
Okay, cool. So when you found a spell, you do have to copy it into your spell book. So I assume that is what you're going to be spending some time on here.
Yes, plagiarism.
Do you just like hang out in the stacks and start copying?
Yes, I sit down on the ground.
Okay, cool. I imagine like Fran's done that a lot, just like sits in the library on the floor. She did that a lot in Estra.
Yeah.
It's a good image. So Clarissa comes back a few minutes later. I'm really sorry about him, you guys. This is gonna sound really bad, but I'm really waiting for him to die. Because he's like that every day.
Why don't you just take over?
Yeah, move the process along. Corbin winks.
No.
And then makes a finger throat gesture.
I'm not killing him. He's annoying, but yeah, he's the head librarian, and it's a lifetime position, and I don't know. If I could just take over, I would. Anyway, you guys were looking for a very long history of Tiefling culture, right?
And just general world history, too. 2,000 years.
Okay, let me try and sum this up as quickly as I can. So, Tieflings, hold on. How much do you know about Tieflings?
Nothing.
That's upsetting to me, but we'll move on from it. So, Tieflings, we were created by Rael. You know who Rael is, right?
Yeah, force of war.
Yes. Okay. Our ancestors were created by Rael as a gift to his favorite son, Torva. You've heard of Torva, right?
Yeah, what the hell, world? We were a gift?
Yeah, the early days of Tiefling history, they're not great, so bear with me, it gets better. We were created as a gift for Torva, but then Torva burned the world down, which wasn't great. Do you guys know about all of that?
Some.
Okay, I'll gloss over that. So once that happened, those Tieflings who remained, we were gathered up by our Dark Lord of the Unending Grace, Iol. And we were given a choice that either we could become shepherds for the souls that we had taken, or we would die.
So we were evil?
I mean, our ancestors were, but, that was 2,000 years ago. Since then, we've really given up all of that, and we're all very happy here, being dedicated servants to Iol, the Force of Death, our Dark Lord of Eternal Grace. Our wings were a gift from Iol so that we could navigate the mountains where his temples are placed.
Oh, do the forces have physical manifestations and or genders?
Oh, no. And that's I guess a bad habit on our part. We just sort of, and I say we, I mean, and she makes a big gesture. All of us, mortals, we all sort of assign genders to them, but they don't really understand that concept, so.
How do I get wings?
I guess befriend the force of death or life or one of them.
How do I do that?
I don't know. Why would I know that?
I'm gonna say right now, I think probably killing gods is not gonna be a good way to go about it.
I'm sorry, what?
That wasn't our plan. I'm just saying, because we're not gonna do it, so.
Definitely not. I guess I'll have to pass on the wings. All right, thank you.
Yeah.
You're beautiful.
And then I walk away.
I get that a lot. Julie Fran in the library. Do you come find her?
I feel like we've seen Fran running back and forth in the background a couple times, and we're just she'll come out.
Yeah.
when she's ready.
We'll wait on the platform outside.
Yeah.
Unless there's more information in there.
I mean, you could look through the library and see what you can find.
I would let Fran do that. We already left.
Fran's our smart person. We'll go do something else.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm looking through stuff. Do I see anything of interest? It's my special skill.
That's
to roll for that.
Yeah. No. So here's what you find searching through the library. Mm-hmm. You find a tome on Tiefling history, and at first you don't really think anything of it, but you're just sort of paging through it because it has some good illustrations.
And I'm like, look at all these hot people.
Yeah.
Woo!
Hot oldies.
This anime?
Are you looking at hentai?
Have you ever seen a picture of a tiefling? Imagine a tiefling with wings. You know it's anime.
Oh, yeah, no, that's true.
Yeah.
That's valid.
I see what you mean.
Okay, you find an interesting story in this tome, however, of tieflings who fled after they received their wings. And in this story, one of the tieflings returned and told others that they could find a home in the sky, but if they chose to stay there, they would not be able to keep their gift from Iol. No others chose to leave, however.
That's good to know. So then I'm gonna go out and find them on the platform, and I immediately cast Magic Circle.
What does it do?
Basically nothing, because we're not fighting anyone, but it has like cool glowing ruins on the ground in a circle around us and like a cool cylinder of light that goes up to the ceiling. And I'm like, libraries are cool. Knowledge is power. Yeah, and I'm like, look.
Corbin turns into a bird and flies around you.
Good.
You hear people gasping, and you look down and see other tieflings and a few scattered pilgrims who are pointing up at the huge column of light that is going up to the ceiling of the mountain.
I point down at them and I say, stay in school.
I think I have a power that, like, because I'm a bird, I can, like, mimic sounds. So Corbin does a horrible bird impression of what you just said.
You say
Stay in school.
Stay in school! Yeah, just like that.
And then I stop casting the spell, and I'm like, I was right about the tieflings on Estra, you guys.
What do you mean?
When they went there, they had wings. But it said in this story I read that they knew that they had to give up their wings if they lived there.
Well, I had no idea we had this evil past, so I guess my ancestors made the right choice.
Fran, do you know about the evil past? I don't think you actually read that in your...
We've all got evil pasts.
Corbin crows in agreement.
Are you still a bird?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I'm, like, doing a little birdie bath in Fran's hair, and I'm sure she hates it.
I hold out my arm, though.
Oh, yeah, I perch on it.
And
Yeah.
I look cool as fuck.
You do.
So as you guys have, you've left the library, and you're looking down toward the main platform that you came in on, and you see that there is someone else coming in.
The devil.
You hear echo through the enormous chamber. Well, hello there! It's me. I'm Dashing Dawson. Can you please point me to the direction of your general store?
Leica doesn't even wait for him to finish. She just walks back into the library so she doesn't have to hear him say anything.
It was the devil. Corbin follows Leica.
Oh, well, okay.
Fran does not go back into the library, contrary to everything about her personality.
Fran, since you stayed out there, you can see that some sort of perplexed-looking tieflings are leading him down a small hallway.
Okay. Well, I look into the bag of holding, and I shake it, and it makes a comic rattling sound, like there's nothing in there. And I'm like, I need to get some rations, so...
I come back out, and I'm like, is he gone?
Yeah, and we're gonna go to the general store, the opposite direction of where he went.
Let's do it.
Follow me!
So you guys head back down all of these rope bridges. You stop, say hi to Mary and Gingy and Zaroon. They're still hanging out by the fire.
I want to ask if she needs anything.
She lets you know that she's low on rations, but otherwise, not really.
Okay.
So you guys head down this little hallway, which ends in the only door that you've seen so far. And you open the door, and inside it's a small shop. Not a ton of stuff here, but a nice little inventory. And in front of the counter, there is Dashing Dawson and his delightful deal donkey. He turns and he says, "Hail, travelers! What a coincidence. I didn't expect to see you here." It's a lie. I did.
You're following us, David, and we know it.
I am not following you. We just happen to be on similar paths. Now, while you're here, however, may I interest you in... And he makes a big flourishing motion with his arm. And it's like a table and a tablecloth and a bunch of items just sort of fly out from his arm as he waves it and a little stall sets up next to his donkey. And the shopkeeper, excuse me, you can't just set up your own shop inside my shop. And Dawson points to her, and suddenly she goes, oh, never mind. I think it's fine. It's fine.
That's creepy.
I don't like you.
I don't like you either, but I want to look at your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So laid out on Dashing Dawson's delightful deal desk is a lance, a spyglass, a few healing potions, a stick made out of black wood, a pair of beautiful silver silk slippers with little black opals sewn in intricate patterns on them. There is a wooden ring with an intricately carved octopus around the outside, and a brass compass with a moonstone needle.
Kat wants me to get the compass.
How much? I only have 540.
Oh, right. You are interested in these beautiful silver slippers. Oh, they are just... please, feel the quality on these.
I reach out and I cast Identify.
Ah. I hate that you have that spell. There's not a specific spell that you can really feel out, but they definitely seem like they would make someone more dexterous.
I need those, Sophia.
Wait, the slippers?
All right. You can get the slippies. Could I use the magic wooden stick?
I touch the magic wooden stick and cast Identify.
Okay, the spell on this feels bardic in nature, and it seems like whatever it does has something to do with fire.
Hold on. Okay, so I see here that there is a magic ring with an octopus carved on it. So, like, once Fran sees that, her eyes, like, zoom like a cartoon, and she's like, what? And she immediately touches it and casts Identify.
Okay.
So this has magic on it that is for transmutation. No, what is the...
Transfiguration?
Transfiguration, yes.
To what? What does it do?
An octopus.
I mean, that is the obvious answer.
You can turn into
That
an
actually
octopus?
would be less useful for me than it.
Oh, yeah,
that'd
not be
because I
useful
could do
for
that
you.
if I animal handle.
Can you
an
identify
octopus.
the brass compass too?
Yeah, I'll do the last one, too.
Okay.
You guys are being awfully touchy with these items. I don't know that I feel comfortable.
Shut up, Donnie.
I just touch it anyway, and I say, you asked me to feel the slippers.
Okay, so the compass, you get a strong sense of directional magic, which sounds like I'm being very obvious, but
Makes sense.
yeah.
So I'm going to buy the wooden stick, but I want to negotiate with him.
Okay. Roll to negotiate. Oh, you're interested in this. Isn't it just fine? Feel the quality of the wood. It's warm to the touch. Isn't that
Maybe
nice?
a little too warm for 700 silver pieces. I feel like that's a drawback. Fuck.
Let me just... Oh! Except he rolls with advantage.
Oh, suck it.
He rolled a natural 1 and then a 2. So,
And I rolled a 3.
you did do me a favor. So, I'll take it down to 600.
Do I know what it does then?
Yes. So you take this black wooden stick, and it feels very warm to your touch. The name of this item comes to you like a vision, and it is the Rod of Burning. And you realize that if you make a sick burn before your attack, and your attack hits, you will do an additional 1d4 of fire damage.
Nice.
You gotta get
I
on those
love
sick
that.
burns, though.
Would you say that's a hot rod?
All right. Can I interest you in anything? You, young man? Do you have any money? I seem to remember you didn't have any money. It's so strange. Have you found any?
I seem to remember that there's a villain in the room, and I hate him. His name starts with a D.
Is it this guy? And he points to the shopkeeper and says, my name is Dwight.
I thought it was a woman.
It is a woman.
There is a woman. Her name is Dwight.
Okay, cool.
No, Dwight is a lovely woman. I'm not talking about Dwight. We know who I'm talking about. I want the compass, but I don't want to pay that much. And I'll get a
Roll, please.
16.
Nope, it does not.
Well, then fuck you. I'm not buying it. Bye.
And you, young lady, with the marvelous hair, I must say, I love what you've done with it.
I once again feel the shoes and I say, feels good. How much are you charging for this?
Oh, these are only 650 silver pieces. A real bargain for these beautiful... Do you see? These are real black opals.
Well, what about this compass? This looks like a piece of shit. I do not convince him. I have rolled a 5.
Okay, yeah, he rolled a 16 on his high roll, so...
I don't know if I have enough money for everything I want to get, though.
I'm sorry, but this is a moonstone.
You could trade something for it.
Yeah, you can actually sell items if you have anything you want to sell.
That's a good idea.
Like that amulet.
What?
Your teacher's amulet.
Sell your prized emotional possession.
It's magical.
I'm not going to sell that.
Well, I'm just saying you could probably get a couple hundred.
No, I'm not selling that. Hell no.
Like a ruthless practicalist.
Sorry.
You did survive like 3 days on your own in the desert. With no
Yes, and
supplies,
things are just things.
Like, it's probably like, sell your underwear, idiot.
if he would buy it, sure.
I don't really think I have anything I can sell, actually. I'm kind of a minimalist.
Except for that
I
amulet.
forgot. Anytime you fail to charm him, he charms you. So you are actually charmed.
I am not,
but
though.
you are not.
Oh,
Yeah.
I am, though.
Both of you two are charmed.
So I'm going to buy the shoes anyway, because I need more dex, and I'm praying that it will give me dex.
Okay. You like immediately just take your boots off and put on these like luxurious silver silk slippers. And as you take a step, you hear this little jingle of small bells as you walk. So I'll just tell you what these do. While wearing these shoes, you add double your proficiency to dexterity checks to dance and tumble. And opportunity attacks made against you have a disadvantage.
Do I get any dex?
No.
Yeah, what's the return policy on these? I don't want these.
Well, if you don't like them, I will give you 325 back.
I'm going to try and charm him.
Okay.
I'm going to say, listen, she just tried them on and they really don't do much. So could she perhaps trade them for the compass?
All right.
Fuck. 7?
He rolled a 19.
I tried, Noelle. I tried.
Well, thank you.
I'm afraid my return policy is set in stone. And he takes out from one of his pockets a impossibly, like, it should not have fit in this pocket, but it's a stone tablet with his return policy on it.
I roll my eyes and I say,
Oh, and you are charmed.
I say, wow, you just are really prepared, aren't you?
I certainly am, or else I wouldn't be Dashing Dawson.
Dashing Dickface. Haha, that's just a joke between friends.
I know, because we are best friends, aren't we, Leica?
Leica just falls to the ground.
Then Fran nicely, charmedly returns the slippers and says, "Thank you so much for the opportunity, sir." And she takes the compass and needs to pay an additional 125.
Mm-hmm.
Who's he the son of again? He's a demigod of somebody. Who was it?
Colonio.
That's right.
Fart nugget.
The fart nugget.
Colonio, who is the thief and
Yeah,
trickster.
that's right.
Of course. So I take the compass and I'm like, "Thank you. I bet your dad is not a thief."
That is an oddly specific and incorrect thing to say. So as you take the compass, you feel its true purpose in your mind. And it's a tracking compass. The moonstone needle points in the direction of an object that you name, which is on the same plane.
Oh, that's dope.
When you speak the object's name aloud while holding the compass.
Is it
Hold
only
up.
objects or can it be living creatures?
It's objects.
Hold up, though.
What?
We don't have to go get the shape-shifting body then. We can just get the cloak.
That's a good idea. Is there a distance limit to it?
No, there's not.
Great.
Also, it can only track one item at a time.
Okay.
So
Great.
How come
That makes
that
sense.
was the cheapest? That's the coolest.
That's definitely the coolest item.
Yeah.
Dashing Dawson likes to throw us off.
Yeah,
I feel that's
basically.
Son of a
definitely-
bitch.
basically, yeah. Okay, so next, let's have you guys all list off what you bought at the general store.
Well, we're all getting warm clothes because we're about to climb a snowy mountain.
All right, Sophia, we'll start with you.
I
What
bought
did you buy from Dwight?
from Dwight. I bought a first aid kit 1 ration.
Why are you talking like that?
That's how I talk.
No, it's not.
1 antitoxin and warm clothes.
Who's in the room?
Oh, God.
It's me.
It's a ghost.
I feel like I've been assaulted. I got warm clothing, 2 first aid kits, and 2 antitoxins. And I spent 240.
So we're broke.
So Fran is going to get 3 first aid kits, 2 sets of rations, 1 for the goddess, a set of warm clothes, and a grappling hook. And I have 301 silver pieces left.
That is an oddly specific number.
I do not know why.
Oh,
Candy?
Yeah, maybe the candy.
So, you guys finish up your shopping, and as you do, and you're heading out of the general store, and Dawson waves goodbye to you. Farewell, farewell! You always know where to find me when you're looking for a deal.
I wave back, but it's like I'm possessed because I'm staring at my hand in horror.
I wave back, but I managed to get the strength to, like, give him the finger as I'm waving, so I wave the finger at him.
I wave back, and I'm like, yeah, we know where to find you. Definitely not up your own ass. Bye!
Okay, so as you are coming out of the store, there is the distant sound of melodic chanting. And as you come to the edge of the platform, you look down to the one that's just below you, where there are tieflings and some pilgrims all gathered on the platform. And you see Salm and Paulo are standing, holding hands in front of the edge of the platform. And a tiefling is hovering at the edge, holding the wrapped body. Then another tiefling, a stately older woman, begins a sermon. Our dark lord of eternal grace, we give to you this soul. O Iol, the end that we must all meet one day. May your guide find him in the darkness and take him to your side, where he may live forever in your grace. And there's a murmuring from around the gathered. And she continues. And as she continues speaking, the tiefling that is holding the body begins to lower and make large circles around the cavern, spiraling slowly downward into the mountain. And then the tieflings that are among those gathered begin to sing in this low, slow chant. And they sing a song about loss and about revival and about the unending love of the dark embrace. And you watch this from where you are, and you see Paulo and Salm hug tightly as their brother is buried. So as the ceremony ends and people come and they greet Salm and Paulo and they give them hugs and pat their arms, you see that the goddess is down there, that she's convinced Gingy and Zaroon to get down one rope bridge, and she approaches Salm and Paulo, and she takes Paulo's hands and speaks softly to him. You can't hear anything from where you guys are. And then she takes Salm's hands and she kisses his forehead. And he just starts sobbing. Like, he just breaks down in her arms, and she holds him for a while he cries.
Oh. We better not go down there. We're gonna fuck it up.
Yeah. Yeah. Corbin says, "Don't let me go."
I hold him back.
Thanks, like.
And then I say, like, hold me back too.
Okay, you're holding me, over my arms, and I go, put my arms out to keep you from, going anywhere.
I put my hand on Corbin's shoulder and I say, I'm also being held back.
A rampaging mummy. A deadly fountain. A circus gone wild. A party in a bottle.
Sounds like my kind of Friday night. You can get these encounters and more at Encounters in the Savage Cities, which is a new Dungeon Masters Guild supplement. That's a collaboration between many of the DMs Guild's top-selling authors and a few new authors, including
Benoit de Bernardi,
Ken Carcass,
Josh Kelly,
Yannick Seelicky,
Brian Stevens,
and DSPN's very own James Intricasso.
Whoa!
It also includes some amazing artwork from Luis Prado and immersive maps from Elven Tower Cartography. The whole project was coordinated, edited, produced, and made awesome by best-selling designer Jeff C. Stevens, and jumped to the number 3 spot on the DMs Guild's most popular titles list within hours of its launch. Encounters in the Savage Cities has ready-to-go urban encounters that can be dropped into any 5th edition D&D fantasy city. In this supplement, you get 26 city-based encounters, a mix of combat, exploration, and interaction, custom art, downloadable maps, and new creatures to play with. You can get your copy of this 5-star rated supplement for just $6.95 by going to dmsguild.com and searching Encounters in the Savage Cities.
Savage!